Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so much for watching. This is part 2 in the Smash That Small Paper Pad process video. So there are 4 videos in total, including the project share, and you could watch the actual video of Smash That Small Paper Pad, beginning or end. In the first video, I laid this card out. It was really late, I was tired, and I know from experience that when I'm tired, I'll glue anything down and call it good, even if I hate it the next day. So I laid all this stuff out and I was trying to decide which color Thankful I wanted to use. And then when I came back to it, I was like, well, that is different than I usually do. I don't usually put the same sentiment on a card a bunch, and I liked it. And they were pretty much all fallish because I think they were left over from last year's fall papers from making the gratefulness journals. So I laid that together, and in the last video I talked about how that tree was layered up and what that was composed of. Now we're going to go on to another one where my friend Noni colored these squirrels for me, and this is from a stamp set by the Stamps of Life, Stephanie Bernard, and I got it from my friend Eileen's garage sale. I went to see Eileen and Janie at their garage sale, and they just piled up a bunch of fun stuff and sent me home because they wanted to see it used. So here you go. This stamp set is called Squirrel 2 Stamp, the number 2 stamp and die set. My friend Noni just colored it up for me, and then she did some acorns. And here I'm fiddling. I'm trying to figure out what dies I have that sentiment works with. Many of you have commented that when you watch videos on YouTube, everything comes together so easily. And I think this is a really important thing for you to see. This is the first time I'm using this stamp set. I don't know how the squirrel fits on a card. I don't know how the sentiments fit. That's the part you miss when you watch a designer on YouTube who may have designed the stamp set they're using and they've used it a million times. Then I set that stuff aside behind me and I'm going to let it dry and we're going to work on something else. But I just wanted you to see that, practice with a stamp set or a punch that you have and you'll get better at it. I am fiddling and I left all of this in and sped it up. The speed in these videos varies based on how bored I was when I was editing. Oh, okay, I did work on this thing. I chopped it up. This is a reject card that I took apart from last year or the year before. It had a weird wood piece that was like a female bathroom sign. You know what I mean? With the wooden dress. It was just weird. It was wood like those leaves that I'm using in this video, but what was I going to do with that when I made that card? I don't know. And it would have been hard to mail, so it wasn't very attractive. It was weird. We'll use that yellow thing at some point. I am just fiddling. I'm moving all of this stuff around, and then there it is. I wanted to use that flower. I wanted to use that flower in a different video, so today we're using it. I also put one of those punch-out frames underneath the flower. I can never figure out what to do with those, and they come in ephemera packs sometimes. In the end, I don't know if it works, but I was excited to use 2 things that were a challenge for me. Sometimes we just have to try things and see. We'll see. I keep a bag of items marked journal. They are things I would use in whatever you call it. Could be November daily, gratitude journals, gratefulness journals. They're things that I don't think necessarily fit into cards quite as well. Like that piece of ephemera that says family, friends, and food. It's cute. I love the pie. I thought about fussy cutting it out, but I decided to put it in my journal one and save it for later. So as I'm going through ephemera, I put stuff into piles for journals because some stuff is more scrapbooky, That item, I just decided to let it go. It was not bringing me joy, and I've moved it around enough times. You can do that too. You can put them in Happy Mail to a friend, and they may think they're the best thing ever. Or you can keep them forever, and maybe you'll use them. We've talked about covering up sentiments you don't like and that kind of thing, but if I move something around over and over and it just doesn't speak to me, I give it to someone else so it will make them happy. Okay, these things are like the peel-offs that Christy Marcotte uses. The gold sheet right there is an actual Love from Lizzie one. This coppery one is not. I'll show you the brand in a minute. When she uses them, it always looks super easy. I struggled in the beginning right here. They're not as sticky as I thought. I had trouble getting them straight. By the third or fourth card, I was like, yeah, these are great. But in the beginning, I would say there was a little bit of a learning curve. So if you have some and they've given you a little trouble, don't worry. They're very skinny and dainty, and just get used to them. And look how cute that is. I love it. I had those sitting around. The gold ones came from Christy in a box, in a D-stash. These were from Expo, stamponit.net. And you can message me. They're not easy to find on their website, I don't think, but I can help you, or I'll try and remember to put it in the description below, but I'll forget. Then I was trying to figure out, okay, what else do I want to put on this? And when I edited the video, I was thinking, oh, I like that. I did like that little orange leaf off to the side that I set down and then moved, but then wait. So I start looking around. That orange leaf drives me nuts. I need to get rid of that. The pumpkin didn't quite work. That was cute. I liked that little plasticky leaf. I liked that a lot. And then I found Andrea's alcohol ink leaves. She took photo paper, shiny side up, did alcohol ink on it, let it all dry, took every leaf dye we had at the time and ran it through. And they are just fun. The variety and the shine and the depth and the color, really nice. And I like to mix those pieces. I think in fall, I just let it all go. Like if it's orange, green, or brown, it matches to me. And I think I'm a little more free in what I mix. I don't know why I can't be like that the rest of the year. I'll try. Okay, fall days are here again. I think that came with this paper that Chica Chat sent me. That is her Instagram name. You know, sometimes you call people by their name and people are like, who are you talking about? Anyway, so you can find her on Instagram, and she sent me this cute paper. She was trying to find me some blue, and I love it. Absolutely love it. So I picked it up and worked it into this Smash That Small paper pad, and I just grabbed different leaves that I had, and then I had this one stray acorn in gold, and there's gold on that paper. And then, hey, who doesn't need an owl here and there? That was from a Echo Park paper collection that I made journals out of. Just really having fun. I did something on this card that I wanted to try. I didn't execute it really well, and I'll be more careful next time. I wanted the leaves to go all the way to the edge and hang off the front paper. In the end, they hung off the card, and I had to keep trimming them to make sure they would fit in the envelope. But I like the idea of it instead of keeping everything contained. My ATG ran out. I didn't want you to have to mess with that, so I just switched to a Gina K tape runner. It doesn't matter what you put your cards together with for the most part. See, I'm not sure it's going to fit in the envelope. I have to glue it down a little. We'll work through it. But I like the idea of it. And I love that paper. That's really, really cute. Okay, we had to stop and say hi to Wilson. Yep. Okay, he's done with us now, so we're going back to work. He doesn't stay long, but when he needs his attention, he does. When I glue down the squirrel and the wagon, notice I'm not putting glue across the top of the wagon because I have to fill it. So think about that if you want the dimensional look with your items. I think I put it maybe up as high as the wheels, and that was it. It's not going to jump off the page. You don't have to worry. I like the I am nuts about you, and I experimented with stamping it right on the orange, and I think it shows up okay. I'll do it differently in other ones, and you'll get to see. And like I was talking about laying out your things you haven't used before, I had trouble with the squirrel because his front foot is up, and I kept putting his foot down on the ground, and then the wagon was in the air. So it's just getting to know new products that you haven't used. Here I settled on an oval. That was, I didn't have a flag or anything like that the sentiment would fit in, but it did fit in the oval. I couldn't really layer it up, but I made it work. Then I laid out that joy card. The joy was out of an unusual glitter paper color from last year in my fall stash, and I loved it. And it went really well with the trees. And again, put a bunch of glue on your squirrel, but don't glue your whole wagon. See how I just went across the bottom? That would be the same for flower pots if you wanted to tuck flowers in them, or I don't know, snowballs, whatever it is you're trying to pile up or give dimension to. You have to have a friend that's nice enough to make you some acorns, though. Otherwise, you have to make them yourself. My friend Noni loves to make embellishments, and that works out really well for me because I love to take them and make cards. Then I'm just doing the glue dot trick again. I want it to have a little bit more dimension. I don't want it to be glued down flat. So I just took one, put it with a glue dot, and put it in the middle. You could use foam tape too, but the glue dot isn't quite as much, so it doesn't stick out. You might not even notice. And then joy. And if you watch my videos a lot, you know that joy is my word for this year, and it was my word for last year because I thought we needed 2 years worth of it. I don't know, at the rate we're going, it might stick around another year. Look at that card. That's a cute one. Okay, this cute little dog came in this Close to My Heart stamp set that I also got from Eileen's garage sale. And the stamp set is called You Make Me Happy, Operation Smile. And it has a cat, a dog, a moose, an owl, a bird, and some cute little sentiments. And I just got it in my head that I was going to use that dog. I even colored it myself. I looked around. For the life of me, I couldn't find my watercolor pencils anywhere. I'm sure they're here. So I gave up, and I happened to find a couple of Copics. My sister gave me some Copics last year, and there were a couple brown ones, so I went for it. Now, the sentiment that I've chosen is sending hugs because I love that. I think it would work for so many occasions or just a Tuesday. But look, when I stamp it, I don't love it. Do you? It's just, I don't know. It might be okay on white, and I may come back to it again and try it. But I like to be sure that my fonts are legible to all ages, shall we say. So if somebody wants to send that to an elderly person, I don't want them to be wondering all day what it says or not even know that I sent them hugs. Look at the pumpkin pie paper. I'm in love with it. Absolutely. Fall is my favorite. That might be true too. I like spring also. The sentiment, if I was going to use it in a journal, I would have left it big to use as a tuck spot. But for a card, I wanted to trim it way down so more of the pie and coffee showed. It just depends on what you're going to use things for. You might change them up. When I buy ephemera, I think about what I'm going to use it for before I sit down and play with it too much while I'm watching TV. And I don't know if a dog and pumpkin pie go together, but in my house they do, so maybe in yours too. Some people don't like pie. Tanisha, I don't know what's wrong with you, but I forgive you. Yeah. Especially if you take your beverages really seriously and can give me hot chocolate and coffee tips, then it makes up for it. Okay. Remember, I liked this on the last card. I was super excited. I was trying to figure it out on this card. I didn't really want to line the fall is my favorite, and I didn't want it to go right through the dog's head and then look, it's getting away from me. Like I said, maybe a tiny learning curve, but they are really cute. Queen & Company used to make a really, really narrow washi that I loved. Now, it was a hair wider than this, a little easier for me to work with, and it came on a roll. Same idea, and I loved it. And if you want to tell them to make it again, go ahead. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is just to find a piece of paper that I'm not too committed to, because I don't want the dog's head to sag, because I'm going to layer it over, and it would look fine the minute I glued it on. But if this sat in my cupboard and didn't get used till like maybe next year, or if it sat there, or maybe it got mailed really far, it would be wobbly looking or sloppy, and we can't have that. There is tons of cat hair because I cuddled the tiny cat wearing that sweatshirt in the morning. I couldn't figure out what was wrong, and it's super fine tuxedo kitty hair everywhere. Crafting at my house, that's what you get, right? Anyway, there's my dog card. Now this one, I have taken the hello. See, now it has leaves on it and I've worked on it and added some stuff to it to try and make it better and make it more fall. And then I decided I was going to put it with that paper that Chica Chat sent me. I think that came from her too, with the gold foil on it. And I don't know, I just liked the paper and I thought it worked. So that was my plan. I'm getting down to some scraps, and this welcome fall was in my stash from last year. It was sitting there, it had fallen out. I thought it was a journal item, but turns out it's a card item today. And I rounded the corners. I'm going to tell you honestly, my plan was to round the corners on almost all these cards, but in the beginning when I cut all the papers, I forgot and glued them all together. And that's okay. Some people don't like rounded corners. I do. I just sometimes forget to do it. It's, just one more thing you have to remember, like inking, and maybe you're in a hurry or maybe you don't have the patience. Whatever. It's preference. I like this though. It's really fun. And then I just put leaves all over it, kind of like they fell there. And I just kept looking and trying different ones. And again, I used the glue dot to pop it up a little and not worry about going over the ridges of the other papers. And then I called it done. My cream colored card bases are from Michael's cardstock, and it wasn't quite square, I don't think. I've had some troubles with those. Now we're going to do just some mild tidy up. I pulled out some peachy paper that did not speak to me and will not make the cut. It's going to go in a, hey, I should give that to a friend like Andrea does pile. And then I pulled some neutrals out of here because I'm starting to run out of full-size sheets of paper and trying to figure out what to layer up with. So just prepping a little. You're going to see me make a lot of card bases out of the scraps. And I changed my method a little bit in this. I matched up pieces of paper that went with each other or corresponded nicely, and then I just made them 4 inches. So in this example, I have used 2 plaids, and I'm going to put them together and cover up the seam so you won't know, or maybe you will know, but I don't care. And then in other ones, I'm going to use corresponding papers. I could use washi tape. I can use and will use some of those peel-offs, just whatever works. I was trying to find a washi that wasn't sheer, but I do like that these are thin washi. Sometimes I use a glitter washi and it gets a little lumpy. So I've pieced that plaid down the middle and then put it on a piece of paper, and it works. It'll make a card. And then I'm playing and laying this all out. And again, I'm starting to get tired. When I create, I can't sit down and do ephemera for 5 hours in a row. I don't know if you can, and just decorate card fronts. I have to take a break. I have to kind of mix it up. When I realize I'm not having fun and nothing is working anymore, then I need a break. Maybe I need a cup of coffee. Maybe I need to take Wilson on a WALK, or maybe I need to switch to something easy like making card bases, or even folding some laundry can be a game changer, and then you come back to it. And I think that's what happens here. I'm fiddling and I'm trying to lay it all out, but then I'm going to say, okay, let's take a break. Let's pick this up later in a different video and call it a day. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're taking time for crafting and relaxing. Bye-bye.